A wonderful day, dear grade 7 learners. Welcome to another English 7 lesson for week number 6. And today I'll be giving you some guide and sample answers on the activities of this lesson. So, watch this video till end for your best guide. Our most essential learning competency-based topic for this week is about direct speech and indirect speech, which is also known as reported speech. We're going to focus on this learning objective. Determine the correct pronoun in writing the reported speech. Let us define first what is a direct speech. For direct speech, the actual words of the speaker are quoted with no change at all. The exact words of the speaker are enclosed in inverted commas or quotation marks. There is always a comma or a colon after the word said that introduces the spoken words. The example, he said, "I am going to school," has a comma and quotation marks that shows to us an example of a direct speech. For indirect or reported speech, the actual words of the speaker are changed. The reason for change is that the actual words have been spoken by the speaker in the past. The words of the speaker are not enclosed in inverted commas or quotation marks. The word "that" will be used before the spoken words of the speaker. The example, he said that he was going to school with no comma or quotation mark shows a reported speech. For more understanding on this, we have two examples here. First example for direct speech, "I feel hungry," Mary said. For indirect or reported speech, it becomes Mary said she felt hungry. We use she because Mary is female and use felt as the past tense of feel. Second example, for direct speech, he said to her, "You are pretty." In indirect or reported speech, it becomes he said to her that she was pretty. We use she in reported speech since the object of the reporting verb is her. Her refers to a female, and it is a third person personal pronoun. Here are the examples of personal pronouns in singular and plural. This is under first person, second person, and third person. For first person, singular, I, me, my, mine. For plural, we, us, our, ours. Second person, singular, same with plural, you, your, yours. For third person, he, she, it, him, her, his, hers, its. For plural, they, them, their, theirs. My dear grade 7 learners, be reminded that in indirect or reported speech, you need to be careful with personal pronouns. They need to be changed according to the situation and context. To determine the correct pronoun in writing the reported speech, the 4 rules and how to change pronouns in reported speech will definitely help us. For rule number 1, the first person pronoun in direct speech, for example, I or we, is changed according to the pronoun of the reporting verb. And if pronoun in reporting verb is third person pronoun like he, she, or they. The sentence, he said, "I don't want to shock people," is a direct speech. We use he in the indirect or reported speech since the pronoun of the reporting verb is he, which is a third person personal pronoun. Then use didn't want to make it past tense. So it becomes, he said that he didn't want to shock people. Next example for direct speech, they said, "We'll" or "We will look after Liam." For indirect or reported speech, They said that they would look after Liam. For rule number 1, pronoun we should become they and will is changed to would. Let us have now rule number 2. The first person pronoun in direct speech, for example, I or we, is not changed if the pronoun referring to the subject of reporting verb is also first person pronoun. For example, direct speech, I said, I do my homework. In indirect or reported speech, it becomes, I said that I did my homework. Use did to make it past tense. Next example for direct speech, we said we buy our clothes. In indirect or reported speech, we said that we bought our clothes. Use bought as past tense of buy. And now for rule number 3. The second person pronoun in direct speech, for example, you or me, is changed according to the object of reporting verb. For example, direct speech, he said to her, you are cute. In indirect speech or reported speech, it becomes, he said to her that she was cute. We use she because the object of the reporting verb is her, then change are to was since personal pronoun she is singular. Next example, direct speech, he said to me, you are a generous person. To convert that to indirect or reported speech, it becomes, he said to me that I was a generous person. We have to change you to I for rule number 2, then change are to was since personal pronoun I gives a singular meaning. Let us proceed to our final rule, rule number 4. The third person pronoun in direct speech like he, she, or it is not changed in indirect speech. For example, direct speech, they said she does not have the necessary qualifications. For indirect or reported speech, they said that she didn't have the necessary qualifications. She is not changed in here, and that's according to rule number 4. Just use did instead of does to make it in the past tense. Next example, direct speech. She said it is raining. For indirect or reported speech, she said that it was raining. The personal pronoun it remains in the reported speech, then change is to was to make it past tense. In this next slide, you will see more examples of changing the pronouns from direct speech to reported speech. I will explain the first example and label the rest of it as to what rule it suggests. For example, number 1, in the direct speech, he said, I like music. There is the first person personal pronoun I, so we have to change this according to the pronoun of the reporting verb, which is he, then change like to its past tense liked. So, he said, I like music becomes, he said that he liked music. And what rule is this? Yes, you are right. This is rule number 1. In the next 3 activities, we will together answer question 1 and give labels for numbers 2 to 5 for your guide. Guided practice activity. Direction. Fill in the blanks to correctly report what these people said. Let us answer number 1 for your sample. Direct speech. We are getting married this afternoon, they said. For reported speech, this becomes, they said they were getting married this afternoon. Change we to they and change are to were, denoting rule number 1. Here are now the labels for numbers 2 to 5. Next is the independent practice activity. Direction: complete the sentences in the reported speech by writing the correct pronoun on the space provided. For this, let us answer number 1. Direct speech. He said, "I'm working in Dallas today." What should be the pronoun on the blank? That is correct. The answer is he. And it becomes, he said he was working in Dallas that day. Here are again the labels for the rules so you can have a guide on answering numbers 2 to 5. Please take time to understand the rules because once you got it, you will never doubt your answer. And for our final activity, the evaluation. Direction: read the statements and change them from direct speech to reported speech. Choose the best answer and write it on the space before the number. What is the answer for number 1? You got it right. The answer is letter D. June said that it was his car. Change my to his, indicating that June is male, and change is to was to make it past tense. And there you have it, grade 7 dear learners. I hope you are now familiar with determining and changing the pronouns from direct speech to indirect or reported speech. I advise you to continue studying your modules so you will be able to answer them correctly. And please do not forget to subscribe and click the notification bell so you will be notified each week for more videos like this. Thank you and bye!